Hi, thanks for joining me while I take Juan out for a ride. We're going to go ahead and head across the street for the first time. I've ridden him in the area right outside of the fence line of the property, but I've discovered a place to go across the street that appears to be part of an airport. So I don't know if it's a area they plant things or if it was designated area next to the airport, or if maybe it's part of the organic farm. We have this cool organic farm next to us. And I remember from living here 14 years ago, they had great produce. So I need to get down there. So it's pretty awesome that we get to ride around and watch the development of a organic farm. Bugs are starting to come out a little bit. A little head busyness there with the bugs. So Juan is great. I'm really enjoying riding him. He seems to just absolutely love going out and seeing the world. You know, there's a lot of horses that they go out and they're obedient, but they're a little bit worried all the time. You could just put him on an airplane and he'd show up in any country and be happy to wander around and see the sights. I think that's a credit to, Arabians overall are wonderful, intelligent horses. And he's kind of exemplary within, I'd say, the Arab breed. Oh, it's funny. Off to the right, do you see that little green ball that's actually not little? That's Juan's new play toy, that green ball. It's quite a sight to see him running around with that green ball in his mouth. It's huge. I mean, it doesn't look big from here, but it's big. It's a big ball. It's not a small ball, and it's quite a sight. I'll have to try to see if I can get some video of him with his ball. I know I saw a recent video of a horse with a mounting block, and he's run around with the PVC pipe and his cones, of course. So right now he has a green ball and a cone. He's a character. So the field right there off to the right is his new green pasture. So Juan has his own private green pasture and the dry lot. He's getting used to the grass, so I have to be a little careful. But I'm really excited for him to have all that green grass and the dry lot. Oh, okay, so here we go, learning. It looks a little funky. And he's a horse that's always very, very aware of the ground. So we're going to have a little discussion. Again, my deal with him is he's an amazing young horse, is just to keep looking at it and, taking it in. I'm looking ahead to when I have to walk him across maybe a stream or a river, or not just me, but trying to set the foundation for somebody in the future, is that he can process, be unsure, keep dealing with it, and then come to hopefully a positive outcome. So you could see all the things he's trying to tell me. Well, maybe we shouldn't go over it, and maybe if we're going to go over it, we should go to the left. Well, maybe if that's not working, we should try to maybe not go over it again. So you see all the little decision making that's going on. I'm just centering him to my body, resetting that he has to go forward in the lane that I'm setting up with my position of my body, trying to keep that mentally. He keeps focusing, looking for where we have to go, and then letting him make a decision. Oh, there we go. He's even grabbing a bite of grass as we do it. Is that, okay, I wasn't allowing him to go around. I wasn't allowing him to go back. No big deal. And then he just came to a decision. All right, I guess we're going. So I know what's great is by having worked through those puddles and the little waterways at the desert, is that I know that he'll go. And the other really thing that's fantastic with Juan is he doesn't, so far at least, he doesn't leap. So that's the thing with some of the others. Oh my gosh, when I was working on running water in Colorado, they would literally just leap across the streams, and it wasn't a pretty sight, let me tell you. Sometimes it was an effort to stay on. So right now it's amazing that Juan steps. I'm enjoying that thoroughly. Now you see all that wiggly black stuff on the left, that's part of the farm. So he's never seen this before. And look at him, he's just being great. All that wiggly black plastic, he's just being fantastic. So you just gotta love that. And I think, one day, even though he's a very confident young horse, I mean, for whatever reason, that ground looked funny to him. And so that's a learning opportunity. And one day, maybe the black plastic, he might be at a horse show and there's a flag on the side or a banner that's flopping in the wind. So even though this is about being outside, it's also about practical training that he may experience other strange items. So here we go. He's never been on this road, so we have those things to the side. I'm adjusting the camera because you can see at least the lens hasn't been tilting as much, so I'm getting better at that because a lot of the earlier videos were kind of sideways. Now it's trying to make sure I can get a long enough, or a way the viewing gets the neck of the horse in it. We decided that the neck being in the head was a good thing. So he's a little shorter neck than everybody, so trying to adjust the video so that he shows up. So look, all that stuff. I think it's part of planting, or I don't know what they're doing, but he's never seen any of this. So you could see he's a little worried. We're kind of off to the side. Now this is the great thing with the young horse. There's a wide area. If I was on a little 1-foot trail, those options aren't available. So you want to test and develop all of this now. So I'm looking at, well, how does he approach when he's unsure? Does he stay on the trail and the path that we're walking, or does he kind of sidle off to the edge? Now you could have a argument that, well, if he was on a narrow trail, he'd have less choices. But again, he is really green going out. And so I'd rather that he has space to make challenges, to assess him. Now again, we're out in the new area. He was so good trotting around the field in the desert. I'm just going to go ahead and trot. If I had a horse that was more suspicious, spooky, high-strung, I'm sure I would just be taking the time to walk. But he is just so awesome, and he's going along in a really quiet rhythm. He's not hectic. He's not spooky. Again, I think if you put him on a jumbo jet and sent him to Paris, he would be walking around downtown taking in the sights. He's a wonderful, wonderful, confident young horse. And I have to sometimes pay attention too, because he's so confident that I could forget, and he's totally justified to spook or look at something or to move to the side. I mean, totally justified. But so far, it's all going well. And I'm still working on the symmetry in his body, that his neck stays straight in front of him. Even though I have a long rein, I still like them to learn to travel with their neck in front. And strides that make sense for his balance and the weight distribution between the steps. And so all the Selfseeds are still at work, even though we're out exploring the landscape.